be showing a PowerPoint, so I'm just making sure I'm right to do that. So I'll see how I go, and yeah, I think I'll be right. Okay. I am absolutely delighted to have the opportunity to talk to you today. Just one moment, if you wouldn't mind. Let's now see if you put a light on. It's getting quite dark in here. I'm so sorry. I do apologise. It's yes, I'm in the front room of the house, and it just started to get dark. So it's really, I'm just delighted to have the opportunity to talk to you today about the importance of parents sharing and talking about feelings with your children. My topic is building resilience in children from a young age by encouraging open expression of thoughts and feelings. Validation of a child's feeling in the early years is crucial in assisting a child to manage their feelings and emotions in a more positive and productive way in their adolescent years and beyond. The significant person in a child's life who are able to listen, comfort, and talk about things not being right, and acknowledge that they themselves have strong feelings and emotions too, can help the child to self-regulate and know that the feeling was normal, and assist them with the tools to manage their emotions differently, which allows for the better future handling of difficult situations, as I said, especially in those really troubling teenage years for some people. I'd just like to show share my screen and show a PowerPoint. Can I ask if you can see that?
We can.
Is that working for everybody?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. So you can see the PowerPoint? Yep. Thank you. Hence the reason why I wrote my two children's books, The Good Bad Feelings Diary and my very own Good Bad Feelings Diary workbook. Utilising the two children's books as a reference point, the topic of the benefits of having open communication with young children about any feeling they are experiencing is explored when facilitating parenting groups, and is also beneficial in the counselling setting when parents attend to discuss issues related to their children. The workbook is designed for young children to write down their feelings on a daily basis, and a page is set aside at the end of the week for them to draw or write about their feelings from that week. These are just a few pages out of the book to help to understand it a little bit better about what I'm talking about. Children love to have their happy feelings. So in this particular case, it says, my good feelings matter because they make me feel happy, playful, kind to other people and animals. However, as children can change and they can have different types of emotions very quickly. And sometimes they can have those angry feelings. So, and then something happens and bad feelings get into me and everything starts all over again. So, well, this is the reason, once again, that you can see that the workbooks are there, how the children will be writing in those feelings so they can get used to being able to share whatever is happening for them. So then what happens when children start to feel angry? They don't like it. So they start to feel sad. So they might think, I don't like my bad feelings. I don't like it when my bad feelings got me into trouble. And that's often what happens for children. As I said, I'm only just pulling out a few pages just to help you understand what the book is all about. But then it's about sharing with your child. So in this particular case, it's mum and daughter sharing feelings. So one day my mum sat down next to me and told me my feelings were letting me know something wasn't right. And then it follows on to explain what that was all about in the next page. The one that I think is most important, and I'm going to explain that more further on in my presentation, is that a man talking to his son about his feelings is so helpful, especially for the two little boys, to know that dad has different feelings as well. So this one is, it was great when dad shared his happy, sad, angry feelings with me and told me that it's okay to cry, that dad cries too when he feels sad. So this helps the child to know that they have permission to feel. So my books are available if anybody's interested through eBay or from my website, www.janbaylisscounselling.com.au. I'd love anybody to feel as though they'd like to contact me about it, mail@janbaylisscounselling.com.au, or certainly by phone that is listed there. Just to follow on from what I have said about this, parents sharing their feelings, age appropriately, of course, with their child allows the child to know they have permission to share their feelings. This, I believe, is a gift, a real gift a parent can give their child to support strength and self-regulation skills in managing difficult emotions in those teenage years and beyond. Parents are role models. The children are listening and learning all the time. I have counselled many parents and facilitated numerous parenting groups throughout my 20+ years of counselling, where I talk about the importance of a child knowing that their parent is experiencing uncomfortable feelings. Parents may make a statement such as, "I don't want my child to see me sad." If this happens, the child may become confused as they are seeing something is not quite right in the body language of the parent and possibly even in the tone of voice, which can greatly confuse a child. Normalising feelings such as sadness by a parent, possibly saying, "Mummy is feeling a bit sad right now, and I'm going to need just a little bit of time, so I may seem very quiet for a while. Just letting you know I will be okay." This then allows the child to know they also have permission to talk about their feelings and not hide them, which can boost resilience. Parents themselves have often grown up in an environment where feelings were not talked about in their childhood. I want to acknowledge how hard this is for a parent who may not have had that opportunity to share how they were feeling when they were young, needing to bottle up their emotions, which becomes a patterning in their adult life, parenting their own children. When their child then comes to a parent who hasn't been able to share feelings safely, they may tell a child, "You'll be okay, go outside and play," without validating any feelings beforehand. This is particularly difficult for boys who may be told, "Don't be a sissy, boys don't cry, get over it, man up," from a parent who doesn't know how to talk about feelings appropriately and is even more damaging to a boy who hears those words from his own father. Hence the reason why I put that page in my book. With regard to appropriately checking in with a child around their feelings, a parent may find it is not the right time for the child to talk about what is going on for them. In this case, a parent could say, "I can see you're angry right now. If you would like, when you are ready, you can come and talk to me about it." It is the same if a child appears to be sad. You may want to support the child. However, they may not be able to talk about it at that time. It is beneficial to honour the silence and perhaps say something like, "I can see this is difficult for you. When you are ready, we can have a chat." This gives a child permission to know they have a right not to tell you straight away. Angry outbursts in children can at times be difficult for parents to witness. It can be shame-based if the child is having an angry outburst in public. When the child has settled down, being able to have a conversation about the anger and see what the child may need will assist in letting them know that a parent can support and still love them and be with them to work through what is occurring. If a child doesn't feel as though they have permission to show anger, if they are told it is bad, then the anger becomes suppressed, which is not beneficial to good health. Because anger is not a bad emotion. Helping a child deal with their anger by using a positive statement, such as, "I can see you are really angry right now," as opposed to, "Go to your room until you settle down," can offer an opportunity for the child to be able to breathe, self-regulate, and begin to share the reasons why they are angry. Asking a child, "What are the other feelings that are happening for you now?" And if a child doesn't know at that time, saying perhaps, "You may be feeling frustrated, sad, confused, anxious," and then exploring those feelings with them. There is a saying, the level of the anger is the level of the pain, which is true for both adults and children. Checking in with the physical signs the child may be showing before there is an angry outburst can also be helpful with a statement such as, "Your body is getting quite tense. Is there anything you would like to talk about?" Parents can't always be perfect in their approach to their child when attempting to assist them with their emotions. It is better not to react with anger to the anger in the child. If a parent is overwhelmed, or at that particular time, it is preferable to let the child know they will talk to them when they have calmed down. However, if a parent does react with an angry tone when talking to their child and regret it, it is beneficial to tell the child they felt it was inappropriate and they are sorry. It assists the child to learn they, too, can take responsibility for their behaviours. I thought it could be beneficial to address behaviours in a child some parents may struggle with. Children may display signs of being lazy, which can be very frustrating for a parent, which can then lead to a child becoming cranky and a parent not happy with their behaviour. Checking in with the child as to what may be occurring for them could be beneficial rather than labelling the child lazy or cranky. And sometimes those statements stay with children into their adult life. And that's something that's sometimes can become a belief system, which can be extremely detrimental in those later years as well. Giving the child an opportunity to talk about what may be occurring to them at this particular time can help the child to know that a parent will take the time to listen and perhaps validate any feelings that are coming up. The child then feels as though they have someone who will understand and not just label them. And so the benefits are so there's so many benefits in having this open communication with children. And I say from the very earliest of ages. With regard to parenting teens, which we all know can be challenging at times, and I've had my experiences, It is important for a parent to hold their ground. A statement such as, "I want to hear you and I will when you find another way to talk to me," allows them to know you will still be there for them. However, you won't support them when they are behaving inappropriately. I recently read what I believe is a thought-provoking and beautiful statement. The way we talk to our children becomes their inner voice. I'd like to thank you to do a thank you to Star Conference's management team for giving me the opportunity to talk about what I believe is a very important topic. And I'd also like to thank everyone for listening. Once again, if you would like more information or would like to chat, that would be wonderful, about my subject matter, you are most welcome to contact me at www.janbaylisscounselling.com.au or mail@janbaylisscounselling.com.au. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you for your talk, Ms. Bayliss. It was a fantastic talk. Now we are open for any questions from our audience. Okay, so I have one question from one of our audience, Mr. John.
Yes.
He asked, can you hear me, Ms. Bayliss?
I can, yes.
Okay. So Mr. John asked that it's important to for the parents to validate the emotion of the child. What is the first step to do so?
That is really a wonderful question, John, because often what happens for a parent, they become very agitated in what the child might be saying, because it could be that they're concerned about what the child is saying and how what they might have heard. For example, if they've just come, say if it's a separated parent, they might come back and from the other parent's house and say, for example, Dad said some terrible things about you, or something like that, which can often happen when children can get this. And then all of a sudden that parent might want to say, well, he shouldn't have said that. That's really bad and that's only upset you. So what has happened there is that the feeling then, or what has happened for the child has not been addressed. So I often say to parents, just breathe, because I've done a lot of separation work. I did that for many years. I've been doing that separation work and parenting. It is hard. So it's about really holding your ground and just breathing and saying, wow, that must have been really hard for you when Dad said that. It must have been hard for you to hear those words. So all of a sudden, you've validated the feeling, and the emotion that goes with it. So you haven't just brushed it off, because the child doesn't really want you to fix them. They want you to hear them, because the basis behind this is that you're giving your children tools so that they can learn how to fix their own emotions and they can self-regulate better. And then what I do always say when that happens, then you can say, okay, is there now, if you feel that's okay and the feeling's been validated, would you like to go out and kick a ball? But you're not doing that until you validated the feeling. If that makes sense. In that.
So much, Ms. Bayliss. I have another question from another speaker, Ebenezer, Mr. Yes. Ebenezer. So his question is, my question for you is, do you also offer services about healing childhood traumas? And what advice can you give us now to someone who wants to deal with those traumas?
Yes, I do a lot of childhood trauma. Are you talking about from an adult that's have been affected as a child, or childhood traumas in taking your child to assist to have counselling? Is that what you're saying, or not sure? Is that for children to have the counselling?
She's asking for an adult, the service for an adult.
Absolutely, yes. So I work a lot with childhood adults that have gone through childhood trauma. I do that quite a bit, and it's a process of really working very gently. I'm a grief counsellor, so it's that enormous grief that's impacted, the trauma is impacted. So we very gently tease that out. It's not a quick process, but it's one that gives some really good everlasting relief for people, so that they don't have to carry this burden, the weight that they've been carrying, so that we can start to unpack gently the trauma.
If the audience should have any further question, you can log on to Ms. Bayliss' website. We've mentioned that in the chat box. Thank you so much, Ms. Bayliss, for being part of today's Global Forum. It was great to hear from you. Let's have a round of applause for Ms. Bayliss.
Thank you very much for having me. It's really been wonderful.
Thank you, Ms. Bayliss.
All the best to everybody else. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bayliss. Thank you.